What is going on? The buildings are in boxes. Well, no worries. Packing those buildings in boxes is just a temporary solution. The buildings are packed in boxes because I decided to take them to a Lego event at Tampere. This footage is a bit blurry on purpose because you can see quite a lot of faces there. It was a nice event, not too crowded, but still there was quite a lot of people. And here you can see a photo of me sitting behind my Lego collection. I must admit that all that crowd made me a bit nervous, and I was frozen still the entire event. Mr. Human Helper had to do all the talking. That event was put together by a store called PiiPoo. That is the closest thing to a Lego store that we have here in Finland. And that store puts together these events all around year in the biggest cities of Finland. And I spotted that the next event is in Lahti within few weeks. And it would be feasible for me to travel there. So I was like, why unpack the buildings because they're packed already? I can just load them in the car and go to Lahti. Or actually human helpers have to do all that loading. I'll have to just manage the whole project. Now, if there are any viewers who saw me there in the Tampere event, you already know that my channel isn't quite up to date. In here, we're just starting to build that town hall expansion. But of course, it is already done because I had it on display in that event. The channel falling behind has a lot to do with my general laziness. You know, the whole ASAP thing. But as all that footage has already been shot, I can still put it together and release it on the channel as I have previously planned. So there will be a couple of videos of me preparing and planning for the town hall expansion. And after those, there will be lots of footage of me actually building that thing. Those that saw me live at the event already know where all this is going. So you can consider all that as a free preview of things to come. But before we jump into that, there's one thing that I want to tell you about. I just got my first shoutout on another channel. LouNeBricks was wondering how to place his natural history museum, and I made a suggestion about it in the comments. He liked that idea, so he gave me a shoutout in his recent video. I'll put a link to his channel in the description. You should check it out. His layout is quite a bit bigger than mine. But enough of that. Now it is time to make a time jump to the past. So hello, it is Sisu from the past here. And I was planning to test my final master plan layout. Because now I have enough buildings to do so. So, here is a miniature of my planned layout. From the left, we have police station, double boutique hotel, one half of the bookstore set, the expanded town hall, another half of the bookstore set, a jazz cafe, and the assembly square. But I am still missing that town hall expansion and that assembly square. So it should look like this if I put it together now. So let's start by putting the police station and the hotel on the left. And here they are, looking as good as ever. Next, let's place the European Jazz Cafe and some empty plates to represent the assembly square. Well, nothing to see here on my current assembly square plates. But the European Jazz Cafe looks great on this position. Then it's time to complete the town square with these bookstore halves. But I haven't decided which one goes on which side. The windows and the sloped roof of the apartment building match nicely with the jazz cafe. but from straight on it is quite difficult to see the building, because that large bay window blocks the view. So perhaps the apartment building works better on the other side. But perhaps I should move the apartment building forwards on its plate, because now it's partly behind that hotel. And the bookstore half is a nice match with the jazz cafe. But there is no room for that tree, so I'll have to do some modifications for that. And then finally, the town hall needs to go to the center of the square. And here it is, with plenty of room for expansion. I think this layout looks quite nice. And I also had the idea of putting some DVD boxes and books to fill that assembly square slot. And those items actually complete the block in a kind of a nice way. The block looks visually more complete. So I decided that this would be my current layout, instead of just a layout test. And this also meant that I could concentrate on expanding my town hall first, and then acquire that missing assembly square later. So I decided to put some plates around the town hall just to fill that gap for now. I also decided to place my greenhouse mock there. And I placed the birch tree and the vintage car on the other side. And both parts of the bookstore set are pulled slightly forwards to line up with the buildings next to them. Now, there were still some steps that I could do in preparation before buying that next assembly square set for parts to expand my town hall. I had already bought the plates for that town square area, but the width of that area is not exactly in baseplate dimensions. It's 2 baseplates and 14 studs. 2 baseplates and 16 studs would be 2.5 baseplates. So if I want to fill that area completely, there will be a need for some cutting. And I also need to decide if that extended town square will be part of that town hall permanently, or if they come apart somehow. But more of that in the next video. I will upload that next video ASAP, but remember, when a Sloth says that, it means as slowly as possible. Bye bye.